Hello and welcome. Today I'm in R Factor 2 driving the Porsche 911 RSR at Sebring, and this is a short video of a demonstration I wanted to create. Enter. And it's a demonstration of voice controls. Center. Center. Centering my track IR camera. Auto pit. Voice controls are interesting and I use them quite a lot. They may not be of interest to many, or to all, or to any at all even. Limiter. But I wanted to create a demonstration. It's something I've been thinking about for a while, and if there's enough interest, I could create a detailed tutorial on how to set it up for, let's say, multiple simulations. Now, of course, every setup is different. Some people have a gamepad, some people have a wheel and a rim and plenty of buttons, and some rims have more buttons than others, and some have motion rigs and button boxes and so on, and so every setup is different. I have a Thrustmaster rim, the 599XX Evo rim, and I have a keyboard, and I found that I came to the point where I couldn't remember the different controls between R Factor 2, Assetto Corsa, Automobilista, Race Room and so on, so I decided to give voice attack a try, and I find it quite useful. Now, I primarily drive offline, so the only people who think I'm crazy are my family. Of course, if you're driving online and constantly repeating the same term to yourself, people might think you're a bit nuts, but maybe if there's push to talk, it's an option. Or also for VR users who have the head-mounted display on their face, it's maybe difficult to see what controls you have, so it might be useful for those people. So let me give a demonstration. So I'm going to stop the car, pause, so it takes me back to the main screen, and what I've done is I've mapped the cursor, the left click on the mouse to the enter command, and I have the cursor over the race button. Enter. Enter. So now you may find I have to repeat myself, or I have to shout several times. That's only because the microphone has to be set up correctly, and if you have an audio gate turned on, you have to kind of turn that down, otherwise voice attack might not pick up the commands correctly. But those are things I could show in a proper tutorial if people are interested in me creating one. Limiter. So I'll turn the pit limiter off because I have it on by default. Camera. So I can change my camera view. Of course, camera is not something I'd be using quite often, so there's no point in me mapping a button to that. Especially not on the rim, because on the wheel rim I have, for example, traction control and brake bias, ABS, wipers, headlights and so on. Camera. 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 Now I'm back into my usual view. Mirror. And it's useful if you want to change the mirror views on the fly. Mirror. 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 And I also use it to track more, or to reset my track IR camera, because sometimes it comes off sync. But center. So it's handy. I use track IR, not many people are convinced by it, but I don't have VR, so it's just a little bit more immersion for me. It's okay. I don't mind it. Each to his own, and like I said, everybody's setup is different. Now it's handy for multiple titles. For example, if you want to use the pit control, so I can say pit display, and bring up my... So I'll use the D-pad on the wheel to make a tire selection. You'll have to forgive my driving, it's even worse than usual, because I'm trying to talk at the same time. Auto pit. Limiter. Now of course auto pit in R Factor 2 should include a limiter function, but it seems that even though I use both, I get the drive-through penalty rather. Pit display. I can turn that off because I don't need it. So you get the idea. It's kind of useful, and you can use it of course for shooter games, for aircraft sims, whatever you want. It's just a software controller, so it doesn't care. So I find it kind of useful. Of course, you can use it as complicated or as uncomplicated as you wish, or as you wish rather. Limiter. So that's a basic demonstration, and if people are interested, leave a like on the video and leave a comment, and I could make a more detailed demonstration of how to get the software, how to set it up for a mic, and how to set it up, for example, a couple of sims, and show a quick demo. I'll continue to drive here terribly. I realise I left my frame limiter on there. So the demo effect wasn't too bad, because usually when you go to show something it doesn't work, but that's pretty much it on for today. So if you're interested, let me know, and we'll see if we can create a more detailed tutorial. Until next time, thank you.